The following show is paid programming and does not necessarily express the views and opinions of Urban Broadcast Media and its subsidiaries.
Thank you for listening to UBM Praise.
Go. Sir Walter Jones.
Who is it?
Sir Walter Jones.
What's his name?
Sir Walter Jones.
Whose show is this?
Sir Walter Jones.
Who is it?
Sir Walter Jones.
Say it again.
Sir Walter Jones.
Who you with?
Sir Walter Jones.
One more again.
Sir Walter Jones.
The Sir Walter Jones Show. Co-host Alvin Carter. We are a Christian talk show in where we tackle all the hot topics in a believer's walk.
Sir Walter Jones.
Who is it?
Sir Walter Jones.
What's his name?
Sir Walter Jones.
Whose show is this?
Sir Walter Jones.
Who is it?
Sir Walter Jones.
Say it again.
Proverbs 18:10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run into it and is safe. Got a question about scriptures? Well, we got the answers. Just ask the elders. It's Theology Thursday, right here on the Sir Walter Jones Show.
Tell me, who can I run to?
Everybody, Sir Walter Jones Show. I'm he. It is Wednesday, Thursday.
Depends on what hemisphere you're in.
Thursday, Theology Thursday. We sit around the mic and we talk to the brothers about the Bible, the Bible. Whoa, that's the book for me. We family, y'all. We're playing this song here because we want y'all to understand something right quick here. Is that this is part 2 of It's a Family Affair. We talk about Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and all those other brothers and sisters and wives and all these other little dysfunctional situations here. But today we're going to talk about them kids. You know, I would have got away with it if it wasn't for those meddly kids. The 12 tribes of Israel. All right, and we got, man, do we have some stuff here. Facebook Live, how y'all doing? It's good to see you. We, you know, some of the video on here might be a little grainy because I had to move to the iPad version generation 3 because you know they have improved the cameras since that time, but this iPad has so many gigs on it, I don't see me being knocked off. All right,
So, you sure that's green or just your skin texture?
Yeah, that's pretty much. I need a haircut and I need all kind of culture going on here. Yeah,
it's time for that facial.
How y'all doing, brothers? Doing all right?
Yeah.
Sir, so far so good.
So far so good. Elder Rodney Jones
I'm so happy
is here.
to be here.
That brother over there, Alvin C is here as well. And we want to kind of recap from last week, brothers, if we can. See if we can bring up Abraham's family trait, his tree, that is, and then his trait as well.
Yeah, big tree.
And, the family tree of the biblical figure. Abraham is connected by several stories. Although Abraham's forefathers were from southern Mesopotamia in present-day Iraq, and according to biblical tradition, the Lord led Abraham on a journey to the land of Canaan, which he promised to his descendants. He is known as the patriarch of the Jewish people through Isaac, the son born to him and Sarah in their old age. And Abraham is also known as the patriarch of Islam through the son Ishmael, born to Abraham and his wives.
Lucky man. I mean, wow.
His wife's servant, Hagar. Okay, all right. And so you got to go to that show from last week, 2 weeks ago, actually. It's called It's a Family Affair. All right, we talked about Abraham. We talked about where he came from. Elder Rodney Jones, if you could kind of quickly catch us up here. Abraham came from who? And somebody about some Chaldee or somebody, okay?
Yeah, Chaldeans.
Them guys.
He was the Chaldean. Abraham was a very wise man. I forgot what was his daddy's name. His father was Terah. Yes. Wasn't Terah his father? His father was what we call idol god maker.
Mm-hmm.
But it's unique that up until this point, we did deal with the fact that God called Abraham away, or he called Abe away from his father, his kindred, his kinfolk, his surroundings, pulled him away. Abraham took Lot, his nephew, and he took his wife, of which we did find out that she was his half-sister.
Right.
They had two of the same parents, but not both of their parents were the same.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did deal with the fact that Abraham had to go down to Egypt, where he got a lot of money and a lot of wealth in Egypt. And then he and his wife left. And then we went to Lot, and Abraham had to separate themselves. And that brings us up to today.
Okay. Had to separate themselves. And then, of course, we've had the wives of these boys. Abraham had, of course, Sarah and Sarah first.
Mm-hmm.
And then God changed her name, and he also changed Abram's name to Abraham, right?
A father.
Okay, Abraham had Isaac, the promised child, actually.
Yes.
So we're not going to. Ishmael and Hagar. Okay, mother and son were in a situation because of jealousy between Hagar
and Sarah.
And Sarah.
Right.
Okay, and then Sarah said, "Get them out of here."
Right.
And God allowed it to happen.
God told him, "Listen to your wife."
Listen to your wife, right? And so Hagar took her son Ishmael, and they went out into the wilderness.
And she was met by an angel.
Yes.
First, the angel told her to go back and be subject, but later the angel. They survived.
They survived. The Lord fed them,
and He blessed Abram. He blessed Ishmael because he come from Abraham, which lets us know, even though we may do wrong, still God will bless it because it is still your seed.
It's still your seed.
So I can't see God cursing the seed of Abraham, even though Abraham had Ishmael out of flesh, so God blessed him as well. And they're very rich.
They are extremely rich.
Yes, sir.
I don't know any poor. I don't know many poor. I can't count how many poor black people there are. There's so many of us. But I'm telling you, when I talk to my Jewish and Muslim friends, many of them are well off. They're doing good.
That's a misnomer.
Yeah.
When I talk to many, especially if you check history, they wouldn't consider themselves rich, and by many standards, many of them have not been. There are plenty of rich people of the demographic you name, but there are a lot of them that are just as, how should I say, challenged economically as we are. You think about the word ghetto. Comes from there. That's a Yiddish term. And what they have done is they've learned to work together and build wealth within.
Yes.
But they're not like, there's still more broke us than broke them. But there's still a few that are still working and striving to rise.
Yeah, that's poor.
Because, no, and I didn't say that just to challenge you, but there is this huge misnomer when you see someone with Jewish descent in their name that they just is automatically assumed that they are well off. They're just hardworking people like we are, and they just do different things with their money.
Yeah, well, that's why I said my friends. None of my Jewish friends are poor like us. Not one.
I won't have no friend that's rich and I'm not rich.
Can you loan me a couple of your Jewish friends?
Don't loan me. Help me get you.
Is Jedediah one of them?
Jedediah, I'm sure.
On the commercial?
There's always a Jedediah.
I love that commercial.
Jedediah.
There's always a Jedediah.
Let me tell you a story about a man named Jed. Poor mountaineer.
Okay, all right. And so God took care of Ishmael and the family. And then Isaac grew.
Yes.
All right. And then he married who? You remember who Isaac
Rebecca.
married? Rebecca.
Isaac married Rebecca.
And then Rebecca began to, Rebecca loved one boy over the other, it appears.
Yes.
Twins.
And Rebecca is also related to Isaac.
Yeah, sure is.
And this is where we get the term, you know how they say, the Bible said if a man finds a wife, or he that finds, no, the Bible says whoso.
Yeah.
Yes,
because It was not the custom that the man found his own wife.
No, they were planned.
Exactly.
Talk about Planned Parenthood.
That's it. So Isaac wife was found for him.
Right.
And then when he saw her, he fell in love with her. So, but she was from his uncle's house.
So you're suggesting that his father had enough love for him to pick the right woman for him?
Yes, sir.
But that don't necessarily mean you going to love her
Yeah.
when you see her, but she looked so good.
She looked so good.
Women's is what I'm trying to tell you.
He fell in love with her at
You got to
first
look so
sight.
good that when the one that's assigned for you sees you, that you look so good that he falls in love instantly.
Yeah, he fell. He loved
I can back
her.
it up. Look at Esther.
Yes.
When she walked in, the scepter rose. That's what the Bible said. Man.
Vernon Scott says Rebecca favored Jacob
Yeah.
over Esau.
Yeah, and there's some trickery. Now,
yes.
that goes to show you that it's not always on the father what happens in the family. Sometimes they pick up the mama's trait.
Yeah, they do.
Because see, Jacob
Yeah.
was the heel plant. He was a trickster, but he got that from his mother.
Yeah.
His mother was
Bring
a
that out.
trickster.
Bring that out.
And so was his mother's brother. So his uncle was a trickster. So he got trickstery.
He got tricky blood.
He got it's on, but he got it on the side of his mother,
that maternal
and
tricky
not
blood.
on the side of his father. Would let you know that sometimes that child picks up the traits of the mother, some of the blood or whatever of the mother as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. Okay, so that's all right. And then comes a similarity with Abraham and his wife as they went away to be in Egypt, and she was so beautiful that who was it? Pharaoh at the time,
Well,
Yes.
he was a pharaoh. The
Yes.
king at the time.
yeah.
With Abraham, yes,
who
it was
wanted
Pharaoh.
her, and then God had to stop that, put a stop to that.
Oh yeah, he put a complete stop, and
Yeah.
and then it was in the blood because the son Isaac did the same thing with Abimelech.
Yes. God says, you know what? How dare you? And the brother was like, but I didn't touch her. He says, I know you did.
So it had to happen 2 times then.
Yeah, it happened twice.
Yeah, because the first time they were just sporting around,
they were sporting.
and nobody was going to mess with
That
her.
was Isaac. He was sporting.
Yeah, he was sporting with his wife, and then that's when the king Abimelech saw them. But what got me was the fact that
Brumman says Abimelech with both. Was it Abimelech with both? I don't know. I thought
it was the
it
26th chapter
thought it was Pharaoh
of
with
Genesis.
Well, yeah.
Abimelech was
figure
one
that
of
out.
what?
Hmm?
What you're talking about? I'm still looking at which one.
Which
Abram.
Let's go to Abram.
It was the Pharaoh's prince.
Pharaoh's.
That wanted. Pharaoh's prince.
that wanted.
So
Abram. Right.
they blessed him with sheep and oxen for his sister. So they thought. Well,
Yes.
it was his sister.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It technically was his sister. So
Yeah.
they
We
gave
talked
it.
about that.
Yep.
Yes.
Found that out. Abraham told her, "She is my sister.
But she my wife.
She's my father's child, but not my mother's child."
Yeah.
So we did read that.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. And then so God says, yeah, I stopped you. All right. Now I'm going to send him to pray for you. Okay. Remember that story? All right. Okay. And then that's Abraham, then that's Isaac, and then, of course, Jacob came on the scene. Jacob and Esau had a problem. They both brothers fighting. Now, they were both in the womb.
In the womb fighting.
What's going on in the womb?
The Bible says that while she was pregnant, there was a great war that took place in the womb of the mother of Jacob and Esau. She asked God, what's going on? And God says to her, there are 2 nations in your womb. But he says that the older shall serve the younger, which is very unique because the custom was the younger was to serve the older. But here God had already explained to her, and it's very unique that 2 babies could be that much the opposite of one another, yet be twins, but be opposite, so that they would actually have war going on while they were in their mother's womb.
So you're saying that's beyond sibling rivalry.
Yes.
And it's a possible suggestion that they were not identical but fraternal twins then.
Yeah. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
That's a good way of putting it. One reached up and grabbed the other, crabs in a bucket. Okay. And so
What a bucket.
Yeah, what a bucket. So this let's start the dysfunction here.
Uh-huh.
All right. One was hungry and Esau was hungry, and Jacob had the porridge.
You hit the porridge.
All right?
Don't eat the porridge.
Don't eat the porridge.
Why?
Yeah, right.
It's spoiled.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
those were the days.
Yeah, those were the days. And so Esau had every right. He had something to sell because he was the oldest.
He was the oldest.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So he sold his birthright to Jacob. Okay. There must be some hunger. There must have been some serious hunger, brother.
Yeah, there was some serious hunger because he was about to die.
Yeah.
So he says.
Yeah.
But then there's some serious trickery that your own brother would not give you what you need just so he can get your birthrights.
He was that desperate for that birthright.
Yeah.
And apparently in that custom, that birthright meant
And he didn't
so
even give him
much.
what he promised. He
Oh,
gave him
yeah.
bread, not
He gave-
porridge.
Yeah.
Not only that,
In
but
verse 20, in chapter 25, it says, "Then Jacob gave Esau bread and not pottage of lentils. And he did eat and drink and rose up and went his way. And thus Esau despised his birthright."
yeah, I get ready to say Esau despised it. He hated his birthrights anyhow.
No, but he despised that he traded it for that because he got tricked. Not just tricked out of the birthright, he got tricked out of what he expected after he made the deal. Because he thought he was going to get some food, but he got just some bread.
Yeah. Well,
He only got some bread.
yeah. You got some bread.
He didn't get any lentils. He didn't get no real meal. He just got some bread. But once that exchange took place, he hated it.
So
Yes,
let
yes.
let
Yes,
me
sir.
ask a
Yes, sir.
question then. If children are having problems, who's right, or who is it then that should come to the rescue and try to work these matters
The
out?
mediator. Who's going to
Who's the mediator?
Who's the mediator of the children who are having problems?
Because there are a lot of times I know children till this day that really don't get along with one another because that matter was not resolved from day one. So who is it that's supposed to be the mediator, resolve the matter, and bring peace, judgment, wrath,
I think it's a chain
and
of
everything
command.
else?
Sure.
It's ultimately the father, but I think it starts with the mother. I
Yes.
think.
Yeah.
Because usually they're around the children more.
All the time. Absolutely. More so. And then, of course, in this culture, the fathers they were taking the children out into the field with
At
them
a certain age,
at a
after the
certain
mother
age.
weaned them.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So you're right. I think it started with the mother because really the house, the one who really makes the house is the mother.
Is
Yeah,
the
she
mother.
built
Not
the
so
house.
much the father. We
Right.
think in our culture it's the father.
Right,
But
right.
the mother really.
He
She's
brings
the backbone.
material.
Sure.
He brings the material to be built.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she does the
She
building.
makes the house.
Right.
I mean, look at Proverbs 31. That tells us
Yes.
that she's the one that does it.
See, we make it a house, but she makes it a home.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
So a
Oh,
chair
well,
is still
thank
a chair.
you.
Oh, that's so
Even
But
though it's
also,
sitting there.
also
But a
Paul
house is
said,
not a home.
a chair is not a chair. But
Yeah.
Paul said also that I will that the younger women marry, bear children, and guide the house.
Yes.
Guide the house. Now, I still ask a question. What is the difference in guiding a house and being head over the house?
Sure.
She's not the head, but yet he says he will that she bear children, marry, and guide the house.
That's it.
Okay, it's just like a
that's good.
pilot of a ship and a captain of the ship. The pilot guides the ship. The pilot follows the route.
Yes.
The pilot is behind the wheel or the stern, whatever you call
Sure.
it. But the captain gives the commands when to go, when to stop, when to proceed, when to change route. And the captain is making the logs of what's happening and taking place.
That's so true. And it works the same way in the animal kingdom because the lion, you would think the male lion is the one that's really is doing all of the work, but it's really the lioness.
Yeah, they're doing the hunting.
She's doing the hunting, okay? And then he, after she does the hunting and catches the food and takes care of the children, he comes and he has his way with her and the food.
My kind of lion.
My kind of lion. I'm roaring to be like him. He ain't lying. He ain't lying. Flora.
Mufasa.
Whoa,
Hi,
say it
Flora.
again, Mufasa.
I always love your
Ooh.
show. And I always love you and miss you, by the way. Floridian has chimed in here. Okay, so who do we leave off at?
We're still with Jacob. I would like to say something about Esau. Esau, the Bible said, married two women, and those two women wrecked the nerves of Jacob. And who was Jacob's wife name?
Leah and Rachel.
Rachel.
Okay, Rachel was
And
the
she's
one he
a,
loved.
she's a trickster too.
Yes. Yeah. So
Pretty much.
So Isaac's son, Esau. Esau, I was reading in the 25th chapter, I think it was, of Genesis. in the 35th verse that he married these two women, and the Bible said, which were a grief of mind unto Isaac and to Rebekah. So his wives got on their nerve. Yet Isaac still loved Esau enough to tell him to go fetch me some victuals or some venison so I can bless you, because he said, I don't know when my time is. I have to say this.
Say it.
The man did not know when his time was, but he was wise enough to know that his time was not long.
Sure.
But he was wise enough to set his house in order.
Yes.
Before he died, because Jacob did the same thing. The Bible said that Jacob called his children in unto him. He blessed them, and then later on he died. For some reason, we have gotten to this point in this day and time. We don't know when it's our time. We don't know when to call someone else in and pass the mantle down to them. We have a problem with trusting others or passing the mantle down. So we die, and then we die, and the whole ship goes shipwrecked because we have not given further instructions or laid something out or put someone else in charge or whatever the case. And I'm talking both in the home, on the job. I'm talking even in the church and all of that. No, so Isaac was wise enough to know that his time was about, and so he told his son, go get me that food that I love and come back so I can bless you.
Well, that's good. You just said, I could preach about 5 sermons on what you just said. Okay?
Give me 2 of them.
All right, just 2 of them. All right. So Isaac and Rebekah, they have these 2 children, Jacob and Esau. Esau, as we know, I think Abronia alluded to the Edomites, who God said, I hate.
Yes.
Okay. But then Isaac and Jacob did come back together.
Yes, ultimately.
Yeah, Jacob was afraid. Isaac was a wild man.
Yes.
All right. Just like Ishmael. All right. So they came back together. All right. And then what happened was, as you guys alluded to, that he was sent over to Laban, his uncle, and he fell in love with Rachel.
Yes.
All right. Now, Alvin, you'd have to help us out why you think that she was also a trickster, because even though he was in love with Rachel, her father made him work for her for 7 years.
7 years.
All right. And then after that, it appears. Well, Leah came on the scene because Laban wanted to give him Leah.
Right.
Because he was not going to violate the custom that the oldest child be married off first.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
Which he still tricked him.
The uncle tricked him.
The uncle.
Now, this goes with your theory about
Yeah.
the maternal bloodline.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Because Laban is his sister's brother.
That's it.
Yes.
So he had a tricky uncle.
A tricky uncle.
Yeah,
Yes.
tricky uncle. Laban is his mother's.
Right. Maternal,
Mother's-
yes.
but-
Mother's
yes.
brother.
Yes.
Yes. And the nerve of Jacob to be upset for a guy who tricked on him.
Well, I mean, does a thief
I can't
Pull the
I
trick.
won't. I'm not. I won't. I'm going to take your
The trick or treat?
Okay,
Which
nope,
one?
we're not go there. Nope. Not on Thursday. No.
I mean, how many of us fall in that same category?
What? The trick?
Where someone does to us the thing that we always do to others, and we get very angry.
Reciprocity.
Reciprocity is a...
Be not deceived.
Payback
God
is
is not mocked.
Yes. We always use
Whatsoever man sow.
this new age term. We call it karma.
Karma. Yeah.
Okay, that's straight.
I like
Buddhism.
my
Well,
karma
not Buddhism.
corn.
What is it? Asian? Karma.
No, it's Hindu.
That's Hindu.
It's Buddhism.
Well,
It's
that's still Asian.
Asian.
Yeah.
Asian culture.
Right. Okay, and we use these words, and we have to really be careful of some of the terms we do use.
Because there's spirits behind those words.
There
Right.
are, yeah,
And
yes,
they
yeah.
use karma a lot in church now.
Yeah, they do.
They shouldn't.
Yes.
They shouldn't. They
Because
shouldn't.
they don't know what
use-
they're talking about.
Exactly.
No, they don't know what they're talking
So
about.
there. Yes.
Okay.
Because ain't nobody taught them no different either.
No one is stopping the correction.
Hey, what are you doing? Because
Sure.
I will not allow anybody to use the benediction, may the Lord watch between me and thee. Because of what the
nature
very
behind
conversation we're saying right now, talking about Laban and Jacob.
Sure.
Yes.
Because that was a curse.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was the spirit behind it and the nature
Don't
behind it.
say that over me.
There are rituals that we have in our churches that we do thinking that if I don't do this, something's going to happen to
Right.
me. And the benediction is one of them.
Yes.
Because what they'll do is they'll see people walking there, they'll say, wait, I have to do this or
Yes.
something's going to happen to
Yeah,
y'all.
don't
if I
walk out that door
Don't
before
walk
we
out.
dismiss.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And this
Yeah.
particular dismissal is what I have to
This
say.
is the one I have to say. Oh, but what happened to all those people who had left earlier?
Doing offering.
Exactly.
Something's going to happen to them
Yes.
apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Superstition.
Yeah. That's what it really is. And I had to think about that one day. I'm sitting there like, you know what, Walter? This ain't making sense. And for 40 years, you've been believing that if you walk out here before they say this,
Right.
your car gonna explode.
Right. And
Of course, you ran out of gas after service because you left early.
Right.
Oh, man, I should have stayed for the benediction.
Right.
I'd have made it home.
Because what it's pretty much saying is that the presence of the Lord is only here right
Only
now.
here. Only here
There's
right
no-
now.
yeah.
And I got control over it.
I have control over it. Yeah. It's man, that when I hear my atheist friends talk about religion, that's the part of religion.
Yeah, that's religion.
That I
That's-
don't
And
like.
we are very religious.
Yes, we are.
But if you can, when we can, and I don't know how you can, deal with the fact that there is a difference between a generational curse and a bloodline habit.
Yes.
It's a big difference because not only are there generational curses, but they're generational blessings.
You know, I know you and I have talked about this, and I don't agree with generational curses anymore. Although it seems like there is a pattern of it. I think more so it's the second thing.
Yeah, bloodline habit.
It's the habit. It is both. It is the habit of us when what we are raised to see, and it is in a genealogical trait. So we call it a curse instead of it saying that it's a trait. For instance, there are children who are born and they have every sense of the trait physiologically. Not just they look alike, but the characters are
It's in
alike.
the DNA.
It's in their DNA.
Right.
So that's not a curse.
That's just natural.
That's a natural DNA trait that they
So
have.
it's not a curse then.
Yeah, I don't believe it's a curse.
I know a generation of men, and the whole family, the whole stock of the men are no good.
Well, yeah,
No
I do
good.
too. I mean, look
So
over
they
here.
got no good DNA. They got no good DNA.
They got no good DNA.
Matter of fact, I
He
know
says over here.
two groups of it. The
We must be talking
women,
about over here in Finneytown.
the women of both of their groups supersede the men.
Sure.
In both of these families, the men are just lazy, trifling, no good, just worthless. But the women,
I think that's learned behavior too.
I do too.
That's what I'm saying.
And the reason why I'm staying on this is because how Scripture is telling us. God says that earlier in Scriptures, He was telling us that because of the sins that the parents had committed, that it unfortunately God cursed the entire families, or even the children of Israel, because of the sin of one guy. Remember, David took an unlawful censer.
Yes, he did. He counted the people.
He counted the people. God said, "Don't do that." So instead of God killing him, He wiped out all of them Jews.
Yeah.
Okay. So I do believe that happened, and then eventually God says, "I will no more curse you for the sins of your father." All right. So He didn't reverse that. Now I will say that I do know some families that there's some men who are in the same family, and 2 or 3 of them are gay. The oldest was gay, and then the other one was born, and he gay, and it's like, how is that a curse, or is that a trait, or what is it? And I think this is a show that, although I think we did do a show about generational curses, but that was so long ago, we got to revisit it. But Demetri Brand Triplett is saying, don't bring the weakest game to the strongest player. You reap what you sow. Karma is a beast.
You know what?
That's pretty tight, though.
Yeah, the weakest game, karma is a beast. Lord.
Yep. Charlie Harris is saying, why did Rebecca favor Jacob over Isaac? Why did Rebecca favor Jacob?
Yeah, I mean that was, first of all, that was her favorite son.
Yeah.
And it almost looked like, and you know how it is. Sometimes when one
He might have
parent
looked like her
could have.
if they were fraternal.
You know, sometimes when the father favors one child, I believe sometimes the mother then feels the need to favor the other one.
That's good. That's
because
good
of.
point. That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? Look at God.
Yeah.
Leah was, we said cross-eyed.
Sure.
You know, and
Some say that translation for fat cow.
right. Well, she had something wrong with her eye. We do know that. Lazy eye, sleepy eye, running eye,
Tangle eye.
Like
tangle eye, walking eye. Something.
Jacob,
one
I love you.
of her eyes went in another direction. Something happened.
She looking
But
this way.
The Bible
Where
said,
you at, Jacob?
I'm on your right.
I see you now.
the Bible said that the Bible said because, or it implied, because Jacob hated Leah, God blessed her.
Yes.
Because he hated her, because and she was just ugly.
Right.
She did not please him.
Uh-huh.
I mean, she was from what they said, she could sit on the front porch and watch the kids playing on the back porch. It was just that bad.
Right.
So, but God blessed her because Jacob did not love her.
Sure.
And she had some of the good sons to come out of her.
Well, let's talk about that.
Okay.
All right. So we're going into that dysfunctional issue there.
Mm-hmm.
Brother Scott says that so-called benediction really means I don't trust you.
Exactly.
And you don't trust me.
Exactly.
So let's allow God to watch us both.
That's what it really
And don't
is.
cross this line.
That's
Don't even come back near me because Laban didn't want to see him no more.
right. After he finished tricking him.
He's right. Well,
Yeah.
he's
But
trying
wait,
to take him back.
wait. I got to say something about Jacob. That guy is so good. He deceived the animals. He painted the animals.
Yeah, he did.
And now, who else do you know can fool Mother Nature?
He sure did.
Well, what he did,
This guy was a true
but he
artist.
painted the animals to trick Laban, not necessarily the animals.
But he
'Cause
tricked the animals.
He figured Laban wouldn't want the spotted animals. He wanted the better animals. So
But-
he said, let me, because he
Right.
knew his uncle. He said, oh, you ain't going to get me twice.
Right.
So I'm going to take these good animals. And I'm
But
gonna put
didn't the
stock-
animals grow? Didn't they produce more?
What did he paint them with?
He paint by. That's what I'm saying.
Vitamin C, I don't know.
He tricked the animals.
Yes, he did.
Now this it's been a while since I read it, but when the he bull looked at the she bull, they wait a minute, when did they get here? This is a new group. Well, they did not know that Jacob went to Walmart and got him some paint. And went and did some painting, and he confused the animals. Whatever he did, the animals grew because of what he did.
They adapted to what they appeared to be, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's
I'm trying to search.
that's that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that's more than just trickery. I think that's almost want to say favor.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, that's definitely
Favor.
that's intervention.
That is
yeah.
intervention. Okay, let's talk about Leah. Let's see. As far as the children is concerned, you got Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Dinah. All right, I'm going to talk about Dinah here.
Mm-hmm.
That comes from Leah, and then Zilpah had Gad and Asher. Bilhah had Dan and Naphtali, and then Rachel had Joseph and Benjamin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this is chapter 34 of Genesis. And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare, until Jacob went out to see the daughters of the land. And when Shechem pops up quite a few times here in Scripture, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince of the country. Prince was back then too.
Oh,
Yeah, saw her. He took her.
My brother.
Mm-hmm. Now let's see what the language here is to see if she was raped or not.
Mm-hmm.
He took her and lay with her and defiled her.
He defiled her.
All right, now that
Well, the word defiled doesn't necessarily mean
not
it.
all the time.
Because if two people are not married, lay with one another, that's equivalent to defilement
Yes.
as well.
Well, this word means violated.
So he violated. So then the word where it's used in what you call it in its contextual use means that he raped her.
Mm-hmm. And his soul clave into Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel and spoke kindly unto the damsel. Okay, now he raped her. Now he fell in love with her.
Yes.
Okay, and Shechem spake until his father Hamor, saying, "Get me this damsel to wife. I need this."
She's
chick.
already his,
Yeah.
according to to custom. If you lay with her, she's already your wife.
Sure is.
That's it.
That is
And
it.
that's even in the olden times, or you gonna make an honest woman out of her.
Yes,
You just
because
finish your shotgun
every
weddings.
woman was born with a seal.
Yep.
And that seal was simply designed for one man to open.
Yep.
And
And
that
the
covenant.
man who
It
opened
was a
that
blood
seal
covenant.
was supposed to be her husband.
Yep. No matter what. And if you fast forward into the New Testament, spiritually, the woman that you lay with becomes your wife as well.
Yeah.
And again, so it's like the rule of order in the natural works in the spirit realm, as that's concerned. So pretty much, I mean, a lot of us, we're married to a lot of women.
Oh, yeah.
We got a lot of wives out
And
there.
the one you got is not yours.
Okay. Right.
Can I give her back?
No, you can't give it back. Jesus said you can't divorce her.
But she wasn't mine.
Well, you took her.
Right.
I'm just a caretaker.
You defiled her.
Yeah,
no,
you
I did
defiled
not
her.
put her in no cabinet.
Okay. And Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah, his daughter. Now,
What verse you at?
5. Now his sons were with his cattle in the field, and Jacob held his peace until they were come. And Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out unto Jacob to commune with him. Oh, boy. And the sons of Jacob came out of the field when they heard it, and the men were grieved, and they were very wroth, because he had wrought folly in Israel in lying with Jacob's daughter, which thing ought not to be done. Okay, now this is Israel, and God specifically told them, don't even mix or mingle.
Right.
Okay, so this was a forced mingle here.
This was a force.
So this peed off Jacob.
Yes, sir. And God.
Yeah.
Because now she's no longer pure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this is Abraham's grandson.
Yeah.
And you just don't mess with Abraham's kids.
Yeah, man, please don't do it, because they wild.
Yeah. And God said, I'm going to bless them that bless you, but I'm going to curse them that curse you.
Yeah. And Hamor communed with them, saying, the soul of my son Shechem longeth for the daughter. I pray you give her to wife.
To him.
And make ye marriages with us, and give your daughters unto us, and take our daughters unto you.
Wrong.
Yep. Oops. And you shall dwell with us, and the land shall be before you. Dwell and trade your therein, and get you possessions therein. And Shechem said unto her father and unto her brethren, let me find grace in your eyes, and what ye shall say unto me, I will give. Ask me.
Wait a minute. Shechem said unto her father.
Shechem
Unto
said unto her father.
Unto Dinah's father.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Ask me neither so much dowry and gift, and I will give according as ye shall. Now y'all know what dowry is, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because see, he got to give up something.
He got to give up something.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, listen.
Yeah.
Your son took my daughter. You owe me some money.
Right.
Right.
I guarantee you, if fathers operated like that now with boys,
Yeah.
it'd cut a whole lot of stuff off.
Oh man.
Oh boy. Yeah. Right. Give me the damsel to wife. And the sons of Jacob answered Shechem and Hamor, his father, deceitfully, and said, because he had defiled Dinah, their sister. Now they're upset.
They're upset.
And the sons of Jacob. Now two of these guys are going to pop up on the scene, and Jacob's going to remember these guys. And they said unto them, we cannot do this thing to give our sister to the one is uncircumcised, for that were a reproach unto us.
Now who's saying these? These are Jacob's kids.
This is his kids saying this.
Now you know they're using trickery.
Yeah.
So it's already passing down.
Yes, it is.
Now either they're using trickery and or wisdom. But they're about to trick these boys, but they're using I feel you.
Yeah. This is a dysfunctional family, man.
Yes.
This is us.
They setting it up.
They're setting it up.
They setting it up.
Yeah,
and
they
they learned it from their mama. I mean,
Their
from
grandmama.
from the daddy, their grandmama,
great uncle and their grandmama.
Yes, sir.
It's in their blood.
It's in the blood.
It's in the blood.
Is that got anything to do with talking? You know, you can't trust. You know how slick those people of Semitic descent. You know, they say he'll Jew you down.
He'll Jew you down. But in this will we consent unto you, if you will be as we be, that every male of you be circumcised. Man, what a setup.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm saying ouch just thinking about it.
Man.
Then will we give our daughters
I hope
unto
they
you.
at least use sharp blades.
And we will take your daughters to us, and we will dwell with you, and we will become one people. Oh, so beautiful. And that's so peaceful.
Oh, that's so lovely.
Oh, sure, poo, poo.
Oh,
but if ye will not hearken to us to be circumcised, then will we take our daughter, and we will be gone. Be gone.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. Die, Felicia. Okay, and their words pleased Hamor and Shechem's Hamor's son.
There's so many things I can go on that one.
I know you can.
Ooh, she must have. Never mind.
Yeah, and the son, man, she laid it on him.
You know, because some people just naturally, anyway.
And the young man deferred not to do the thing because he had delight in Jacob's daughter, and he was more honorable than all the house of his father. And Hamor and Shechem his sons came into the gate of the city, and communed with the men of their city, saying, These men are peaceable with us, therefore let them dwell in the land, and trade therein, for the land, behold, it is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters for our wives, and go and on and on. Okay, 22. Only herein will the men consent unto us to dwell with us, to be one people, if every male among us be circumcised as they are circumcised. Shall not their cattle and their substance and every beast of theirs be ours? Only let us consent unto them, and they will dwell with us. And until Hamor and until Shechem his son hearkened all that went out of the gate of the city, and every male was circumcised.
They kicked me out of town.
Yep, all that went out the gate of the city. All of them was.
Yeah, they kicked me out of town.
Woo! All right, here goes
go to the bar before a cow. No way.
Here goes the M like Shimonon's line right here. 25. I can hear the music playing now. And it came to pass on the third day. It's always on the third day in Bible times. Everything happened on the third day.
They even fasted for 3 days.
Yes, they did.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, when they were sore.
From what?
Like, ouch. That two of the sons of Jacob, here they are,
Yes,
Simeon
and
Levi. Now, these are Leah's boys.
Yeah.
Okay, Dinah's brethren took each man his sword and came into the city boldly and slew not some of the men.
All the males.
All of them.
Wow.
And they slew Hamor and Shechem his son with the edge of the sword, and took Dinah out of Shechem's house and went out.
Them boys.
This sound
I
like
love them brothers.
Yep.
Yeah, that's called ridedownthere.com.
This sounds like that movie Troy. Did y'all see
Yes.
Troy?
Yeah, I saw Troy.
This is exactly what happened here. The sons of Jacob came unto the slain and spoiled the city because they had defiled their sister.
They took the stuff from the city.
Yep.
2 guys.
Yep.
2 guys now.
You know, the African American community can learn from
They
this.
need to learn from this. You don't let nobody come in
don't
and
let
mess up
nobody-
your sister.
Man.
You remember that time I threatened to kick a whole project when they threw an egg at my sister?
Who? Janina?
Precious?
Precious?
Yeah.
Then this happened twice then.
Yeah.
Because some boy in the project hit Janina in the eye.
Yeah, I remember that with that, and she hit him with the
something.
umbrella with
Yeah.
the little
Okay.
that little
And,
thing looked
yeah.
like a rat, whatever it's called.
My sister Janina has 7 brothers.
7 brothers.
Okay, full of the Holy Ghost.
Yeah, full
Okay,
of something.
Yeah. All right. Janina came home.
Running. Mm-hmm.
All right. Came in the house. And my father is Jacob in this sense here. All right. Now, my father at that time was bigger than all of us.
Yes, sir.
You know, carpenter man. All right. And Janina says, that boy hit me.
He hit me with a Ferris.
Okay.
That's
and
what it is.
that house was enraged.
Yes, sir.
I was home. You were home. Dwayne was home.
And they got in the car.
Thank
Larry
God.
wasn't-
Wait, I get ready to say, thank God Larry was not
Yeah,
home.
Larry had
wasn't
just
there?
left.
Oh, okay.
Larry had just
He
left.
had just left.
Because if he had been
It'd have been
home,
over.
That'd have been it.
this would have been a Rodney King situation.
Yeah,
all over
Larry
again.
would have been Levi.
There would have been gnashing of teeth. And then,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
Okay. All right. So we got in your car, I think it was. Whose car was it?
My wife and them just pulled up, but
Yes.
I didn't have time. I ran without the car.
Yeah, you ran. I got in the car.
Yeah,
Now,
so by the time y'all got there to the
Yeah.
scene, I was already there. I had
Yes.
ran on foot.
You
Yeah.
outran a car.
I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait.
we drove down the alley.
They were still loading up the car.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait.
Like a clown car.
Yes, sir.
We all just climbed in there.
That's it.
Oh.
Okay,
Okay,
we
I
drove
get it.
down the alley, got to the boy's house. And my father got out and with Janina. And we're standing behind him. You know how in the neighborhoods when a fight break out, when you think nobody live in that neighborhood, it seemed like hundreds of people.
10 billion people.
So all of the disciples and the vice lords popped up on the
Yep.
scene.
Oh, my God. Both
Okay.
sides.
Yeah,
Yes,
it was just
sir.
amazing. Okay, so apparently this was a gang boy. My father had to have the Spirit of the Lord in him.
Yes, sir.
Because he was one of the most boldest dudes. He was the boldest guy on that corner.
Yes, sir.
He didn't care about no disciple, vice lord, and all these other gangs of California. Okay, his finger was in that boy's face. You hit my daughter? No. You hit my daughter. You hit my daughter. And my sister was behind him. Of course, you know when the angel is in front of you.
Oh yeah.
Come on, come on, Cletus.
My daddy.
And we were waiting on my dad.
Yeah,
one command.
Yeah, my dad. All he needed to do was just tell us one thing.
One command.
Because my father have a whistle. You know, he just
Train like
and all 7 of his sons come out wherever we are.
Wherever we are. Makes no difference.
No matter where we are.
He probably couldn't do that whistle.
Okay. And my father, so I saw all these thugs come around. I said to myself, you know what? I felt like those men when they sent spies out. They're mightier than us. I began to have doubt because these guys come around. At that time, cell phones were kind of new, and I actually had one. I says, now I'm gonna hit the 9 and I'm gonna hit the 1, and I'll wait to hit the next one. If a gun, if a shot fired, I'm gonna hit the other one.
I did the same thing. I'm gonna hit these 9 over here, and I'm gonna hit this one right here.
I said, this army is too big. But then this calm came over me because I saw my father's rage. I said, my father's gonna take everybody out here by himself, because he hit his daughter.
Yes,
and he told that boy, "You apologize right now." And the boy said, all right, I'm sorry. I said it again, I'm sorry. I don't think you mean it. That's what my father said. I said, wait a minute. The man apologized.
He wasn't satisfied.
He was not satisfied. And so when I'm reading this story, I understand these boys.
Oh, yeah.
This is my sister.
Yeah.
My Hebrew sister had that.
Yeah.
I could see it was another Hebrew that might have defiled you.
Right.
But this was some heathen.
Yes, sir. Uncircumcised.
He wasn't even a Philistine.
Yeah.
He wasn't a Philistine.
Yeah.
And you never let nobody disrespect your mama, your sister, your auntie, your wife. I whooped 3 guys because they jumped in my van to do something to my wife.
Ooh.
I whooped 3 guys. My brother Dwayne had to pull me off of them. Before I noticed, I had 3 guys whooping them.
Yeah.
3.
I can believe that.
Yeah. I have been blessed that no one has ever touched my children or someone, a loved one of mine. But I'm a polite man. I appear to be soft, but I dare you. I dare you touch Rebecca or any of my goddaughters, my Leah.
I touched
y'all didn't see what he did.
Eric. Okay. Any one of them Tysons, all right? I dare you. It's over. Walter Jr. couldn't handle him because he's got muscles.
You hear drummer.
I'm scared of my own son because we tussled one time and he took me down.
Yes, sir.
My Lord, my son took me down.
You should have said I let you do that.
Yeah.
Right.
You should even say that on the air.
That boy took me down.
Man,
I started biting. He let me go after I bit him. Now Walter Jr. gonna brag. Now look at him. He gonna brag now.
I said you should never even admit that.
I'll read your comments when we come back after this news report. I'll make it short and sweet. So Walter Jones Show.
Oh no! Did you miss part of today's show? Well, just head to Spreaker.com. That is Spreaker, SPREAKER.com, and type in the Sir Walter Jones Show to get today's episode and past ones. So do it now.
Investigative reports from Tuesday, May 3rd. Don't sharpen my pencil. A 35-year-old teacher leading children on a hike in the Eaton Canyon in California was rescued after she slipped and fell near a waterfall and impaled herself with a pencil. The pencil was in the backpack when it injured her approximately half-inch from her spine and out and cut 3 inches deep in the woman's lumbar area. The teacher was hoisted and flown to Huntington Memorial Hospital for treatment. She was expected to be okay. Another sad day in public education as other states debate which bathrooms transgender people should use. Chicago Public Schools made the policy perfectly clear today. They should use the one that matches their gender identity. Here's the policy at a glance. All students and teachers who identify themselves as girls or women are to use the ladies' bathroom and locker room, and anyone who IDs as a boy or man gets to use the men's room. Similar rules will apply to adults who are transgender or questioning their gender. Adults will have the added protection of not being outed as transgender by coworkers or human resources staffers unless they have given consent. In 2014, CPS declared that all transgender students in the district must be provided with the same opportunities for physical education, sex ed, sports, and all school events as other students. Wednesday, May 4th, believe or leave, a Catholic woman in Nevada has filed a federal lawsuit against Affinity Lifestyles, a bottled water company, saying the business pressured her to watch videos on Scientology. Her refusal led to denied pay raises and finally termination. Here are the 5 top stereotypes that believers would benefit from doing away with. Number 5, Christians only care about you becoming a Christian. Number 4, Christians are homophobic. Number 3, Christians are Bible thumpers. Non-Christians don't love when you throw Bible verses in their faces as a way to prove them wrong or tell they are living in a sin, and it goes on. Number 2, Christians are judgmental. And number 1, the 5 top stereotypes that believers would benefit from doing away with. Number 1, Christians are hypocritical. These are your investigative reports from Mary Nikita for the Sir Walter Jones Show.
Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. Race cars, lasers, aeroplanes. It's a duck blur. Nights are a mystery. Or rewrite history. DuckTales, woo. Every day they're out there making DuckTales, woo. Tales of daring, do bad, and DuckTales. Danger, watch behind you. There's a stranger out to find you. What to do? Just grab onto some DuckTales, woo. Every day they're out there making DuckTales, woo. Tales of daring, do bad, and good DuckTales, woo. Not ponytails or counting tails, no DuckTales, woo.
Welcome back, y'all, to the Sir Walter Jones Show. We're talking about dysfunctional families, God's dysfunctional family. It's a family affair, y'all. Jonathan Williams, well, those of you who are on Facebook Live, says, great show. My friend, I would do whatever it takes to protect my loved ones. Ain't no mountain high enough to get to someone's behind.
Now let's backtrack a little bit.
Yeah.
Jacob was about to experience that with Laban
Yes, he was. He sure was.
because he felt that Jacob left too soon and stole from him and took his daughters from him.
And God intervened, told Laban, you better pull that horse over right now.
Not just that, but
Yeah.
when he found Jacob, his
Yeah.
old tricky daughter,
Yeah.
she told a story because she stole from him, not believing that Jacob could provide for her.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So that's the trickster stuff.
Sure.
And then lied and told her daddy she was sitting on a pot.
Jonas Lee, how you doing, brother? He said thug life. Yeah. Let's see. Hey, brothers, we're ready to give him the right hook of fellowship, Demetria. Melissa Green, on her way back to St. Louis, bad accident on the I-55 North. Lord have mercy. She was here for the Pastors and Elders conference.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, she didn't make the services, but she was at the hotel because she was one of the vendors. Highway
cool.
completely closed outside of Bloomington. We're praying for you that you get through that and get home safe. Melissa Green. Demetria, she needs to be a virgin. Why shouldn't he be skin-free?
Oh, Lord. Demetria, help her, Lord.
I can't, something's come out by fasting.
Oh, my
Something's
God.
come out by
She's these
fasting.
kind of-
She's, yes. Phyllis Williams say, think of the times when a male child was born. Even now, the oldest inherited the second son in kingdoms was often killed. That's Phyllis Williams. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? It's funny, but that's a Jewish custom, but we practice that.
Yeah.
But that's not really our custom, is it?
It is not our custom, no. As a matter of fact,
something that we practice.
We do practice it. We practice a lot of things that
That's
the
not
Jews
ours.
did. That's not ours, especially in church. We do a lot of Jewish culture in church, and stuff
we,
is not
we observe
They have
everything.
no clue about what they really
They have
mean.
no clue.
We wear certain garments that won't do us any good.
Right, and we're expecting God to bless it.
Because we do it.
Because we do it, but God says, I wasn't even talking to you.
Right,
I was
right.
talking to these people specifically, these guys right here. Now, I'm not saying everything we can't take, all right? 'Cause there's some things we can receive the blessings of Abraham, some things.
Yes.
But there's some things God specifically said to these
for them.
people, and it's not what
Yeah,
it's not for us.
It's not for us.
Because I know some people who are these snake handlers in the South. These I almost said Hicks.
In Appalachia.
In the Appalachian, they handling snakes because they going by what Scripture said, and
Right.
these guys are being bit, poisoned, and dying.
You know why? Jesus said one thing. Why tempt you?
Yeah, why even tempt it?
He said, you shall not tempt the Lord.
Yes,
That's
where the problem is.
That's
But we take the thing about they shall
they shall
eat
in the deadly thing. They shall take up serpents.
and take up serpents. Okay, and
Right.
all these things, and even raising the dead, and all these things.
Right.
But all these things that Jesus said. Notice in America, none of this stuff is happening that we see
Man, come
nationally.
on. People raise the dead being raised all the time.
Where?
Right.
Every dinner table, they raising up that dead steak, that dead chicken. The dead getting raised up.
That chicken died that I might have
Chicken
liked.
died. And I'm
Oh,
like,
but you're not saying that there are no miracles. You're saying
No. I'm saying that we're not seeing it like
on the norm.
On the norm, we don't see it. And
Right.
I think we talked about this last week, or was it this week? Whenever we were together before, how Jesus couldn't even do any miracles,
Right.
Because
Lay
of-
hands on a few sick folk.
Right. So America does not see miracles,
Right.
because of our lack of faith
Yes.
and belief.
That's right.
also,
Although we're the largest
abundance
Christian
of the
nation.
word as well, because miracles
Yes.
are not really needed when it comes to what's available.
We have
Yeah.
the word, we have the canonized word, and there are things that we can understand in this without having to call out a prophet from out of town and pay him all his money to get the same word that we can get in Scripture.
Right.
So what's happening is now I believe more miracles do happen across these.
Yes.
And it's necessary
Their faith
because
is stronger.
Their faith is stronger.
Not just their faith is stronger, the stronghold and the other beliefs to win them over requires miracles.
Yeah.
You would probably see miracles more if somebody from a Christian faith would walk into a mosque or walk into
Right.
a Sikh temple.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a great point.
Because they don't believe at all.
That's a great point.
So if you walk in there and you witness, you might be able to flow in gifts stronger because it's needed because they don't believe, because that's what miracles are for.
That is a magnificent point there. Now, there's some people who are listening right
But
here.
we won't go in there because they ain't going to give us no offering.
They're not giving no offering. No.
Of course, they offer us something else.
Oh, yeah. I can guarantee you I can poll everybody on this Facebook Live thing, and every one of them says, I did see a miracle. Okay? Every one of them will say that. Now, right. Two things will happen. The miracle that they say will be something that's really not a miracle. It's like, God woke me up this morning. They
that wouldn't qualify as a miracle.
You see what I'm saying?
So an atheist.
It's not to an atheist. That's
because
something
it's not
that everybody
exceptional,
do.
because
It's not exceptional. It's something that always happens. Okay, or they will say a bona fide miracle, but it's something that happened 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago. You see what I'm saying? So it's amazing how we can justify a lot of these
If you
religious.
poll your viewers, you'll find that probably most of them heard about miracles.
They heard
But
about
have
it.
not
but
seen
never
one.
seen one.
That's good. That's another good point.
They heard about it.
Yeah,
But life, every time a baby is born, that's a miracle.
And
It
I've
is a
seen
miracle.
that. And I'm telling you, it's miraculous.
I've seen it at least 9 times.
Yes.
And every time someone gets saved, that's a miracle.
it is.
Now, that's the song that Sean Pace sings.
Yes.
It took a miracle.
Yes.
Is that the song?
Yes.
I love that song.
It's a beautiful song.
Oh, man.
It
I wish
took a miracle.
It took a miracle.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Brittany, find that. It took a miracle.
Yeah, it took a miracle. That song.
It's not in
that-
there. It's on YouTube.
That one touched
It took a
me.
miracle. Sean Pace Roll, I think her name. Sean Pace.
Rhodes.
Okay, yeah, maybe that could be my outro if you can find it. But to finish just here, apparently these guys went, circumcised these guys, killed them all. Went back, and Jacob says, why would you do something like that?
Right.
He says, We were getting ready to make peace. We're in their area. He
Yeah.
said, now we got to pack our bags and get up out of here.
Yeah, God told him to leave.
Yeah, we got to go.
Matter of fact, if you go to chapter 35, verse one, and God said unto Jacob, "Arise, go up to Bethel
Back where he
and
started.
dwell there."
Back to back.
Back where he
Then,
started.
and then he says, "And make there an altar unto God that appeared unto thee when you was running
Wow.
from the face of your brother."
Wow.
And that's something.
Something about Bethel.
But no, what got me was God said, "I want you to go back. You know where you was running when you was afraid of your brother.
Your
Go
hiding
back to
place.
that spot when you was running from your brother. Go back to that spot right there." So God tells him, because God told him it's time for you to go, because the brethren came back and they told their daddy they should not have raped our sister.
Right.
Because the father was upset at what the brethren had done. I don't blame the brothers. I really don't blame. I love the father. I respect him. But, you know,
It's understandable. Their
some
their
things,
age.
some things was done in Mississippi, was still in Mississippi. Some of that should have just been revealed.
You found it?
Some of that stuff should have been revealed.
Okay.
So God says, get up and go to the altar where you were when you was fleeing from your brother. So it was God that actually told them it was time for them to move. In the midst of all of
In the
that,
midst of all of it, you got to get up out of here.
you got to go.
Okay. All right. Well, Genesis 49 is when he passes out the blessings before he dies.
Jacob,
Jacob. And Jacob called until his sons and said, gather yourselves together.
49.
49. That I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
Oh, he going to tell them exactly what's going to happen.
Something about to happen to you. Annette put she put the link there, but it ain't going to help Brittany.
So before you get to
Yeah.
that, now, what tells Jacob what's going to happen? Is this God, or does he just know the nature of his children?
That's good. That's great. I think it's both. I mean, he was really close to children. Let's back up.
Okay.
The first dysfunction that really happened, it wasn't really Dinah and Jacob's kids. It was really when those boys came together to plot to kill their other brother.
Yes, Joseph.
All right.
Yes.
That comes after, don't that?
Well, Jacob, they wanted to kill Jacob, but their one brother says, "Don't do it."
They wanted to kill
They want to
Joseph.
kill
Joseph,
So
sorry.
you're skipping ahead.
Yeah,
They
Joseph.
want to kill. Both. He says, "Don't do it."
No, I'm going back because I was
Right.
getting ready. I'm at chapter 49, but I gotta go back.
Now, which brother was the one who said, "Don't do it"?
That was I think it was the oldest one.
It was Judah.
Not the oldest one. I'm sorry. Well, it's the one. Which reason why I said the oldest one is because the top three lost their birthrights. Okay,
Right,
Levi,
Yeah, we're about
Yeah.
to read that now.
It was Judah. Judah, which was the intercessor.
Yes.
He was the one who said, "Don't do it." And can you see the nature of Christ in Judah at this point?
Yep, I can.
Willing to come to the rescue of his brother. And that's exactly what he did. He said,
Yeah.
"Don't kill him."
Don't kill him. Okay, all right. So they threw him in the well. All right, and then these bandits came
And got him.
and got him, and so they wound up selling him into in slavery. All right, and then the bandits took him into Egypt, and of course we know the story how he went from the dungeon to the palace. All right, and God designed it that way so that He could really try to protect and help these children, the children of Israel, who will eventually birth Moses and who will, and it goes on from there. So before I read 49, so it appears, Elder Jones, that our families are dysfunctional. And God knows that. But sometimes He uses a certain child in the family
to rescue the family.
to rescue the family.
And sometimes he uses the one where they all sail out.
That's the one.
Because they sold Josh.
Joseph.
What's the boy name?
Joseph.
They sold Josh. Who's his name again?
Joseph.
Yeah, him. They sold him out.
Joseph is his
Yeah,
name.
Joseph. They sold him out. But then God knows how to deal with the right person. God knew that man would have a forgiving spirit.
Yes.
Because when his brethren came to him, he had already forgiven them.
He did.
Matter of fact, he had 2 children and named them a particular thing and said, "For God hath caused me to forget."
Yes.
Is what he said when he had those children.
Yes.
So he was the one that was sent, but the man had to go through hell.
He did. And Joseph is an antitype, and I'm sorry, not an antitype, he's a prototype, okay, or pre-type of Christ. Pretty much lines up everything.
Yes.
Because Christ came to his own,
Yes.
and his own
Receive them not.
So Joseph, same thing. Okay, and jealousy came over them. Remember, he had a dream.
Yes.
And he told the dream to his brothers, and they laughed him to scorn. He even told it to his father.
His father.
And his father said, "Really, boy?
Me and your mama gonna bow to you."
You really? Yeah, take this coat of many colors and go play in the sandbox."
Yeah.
Okay.
And all of it came true.
All of it came true, all right? And we see that same prophecy in Revelation. God, the Bible is just amazing.
It is.
Okay, and then and then the funny thing, the strange thing about this, remember when Jesus came out of the tomb and he showed himself to the women in the garden. They didn't recognize him.
Right.
All right. Jacob, when he was before his brothers, they didn't recognize him.
Nope. Exactly. Joseph.
I keep saying Jacob.
Didn't recognize.
Y'all know what I'm saying when I say Jacob.
Right.
Joseph did not They didn't recognize Joseph.
But he recognized them.
But he recognized them. And he kept his quiet for a while.
Quiet. Yeah,
and
he would go in another room and cry.
Yeah, he would.
And come back out.
Because there was a certain time. Again, Jesus had a certain time. All right? They didn't recognize him in a sense.
Right.
If you know what I mean.
He had to make himself known.
He had to make himself known. So then what happened was finally when he says, okay, now it's time to reveal to them who I am. When he called for all his brothers to come in, the only way, not so much the only way, but the way that the Jews or the Hebrews recognized each other is really by a couple things. Number one, by that cloth.
The cloth?
Because you notice when Hitler had decided to wipe out the Jews, he put a certain cloth on them and branded them. Because many of them looked like the Jews looked like the Germans. Okay, in a sense, a lot of them did. So he had to give them a certain cloth. Number two, Joseph had to show that he was circumcised. He had to raise his skirt. Joseph raised his skirt, and they said, "Oh, he is our brother." Okay. He is our brother.
So they recognize him by what?
Yeah, by Jesus had to show himself to his man.
He had to show his cut skin.
He had to show himself
the
to
scars,
them.
the hands.
They were like, "That is you."
And Joseph had to suffer so that his brethren wouldn't suffer.
So his brother wouldn't suffer. So Jesus became a curse on the cross. Man.
And that goes to tell us that there's always, in a lot of cases, that one sibling that makes it in life, but end up having to pull the rest of them up.
That's good. Yes.
And but the one who's make it feels like I'm so tired. If I made it like what? No, you may be a Joseph for your family. Right. You're the first one to get the high school, the college degree. You're the first one to get the house, the job, the whole 9 yards. You'd be surprised. It may be because God blessed you to get that.
Wow.
So that you can pull the rest of your family
or inspire them.
Or inspire them.
Yes.
Yeah. But he did that. He made you the one. You are the Joseph.
Thank you, Jesus.
So now you got to pull the rest of them up to where you are.
Absolutely.
You didn't just get there because you just got there.
Good.
That's an act of God.
And he takes you through that stressful time.
Yes.
So that you're able to pull them up.
Right.
Because that boy Joseph went through hell.
He went through some stuff.
Ooh, he went from a pit.
But I'm going to tell you something, the thing that really makes me cry.
What's that?
Is
you going to cry on camera?
Anyway, when they got ready.
That's when it went out and knocked me out.
It went out.
Yeah.
When they got ready to make Joseph number 2 man in Egypt.
Yeah.
When they got ready to move, the guy says, bow the knee. You know what bow the knee means?
Submit.
Everybody there had to bow their knee to Joseph, right? You know who that include? That include that first house he went to where he was a servant, where the man's wife, Potiphar's house. Potiphar and his wife now had to bow to Joseph. Isn't that something? Everybody around except the Pharaoh himself had to bow their knee. Here is a Hebrew boy, not an Egyptian, but came there as a slave, went through hell, went down where the baker. Now, which one is still alive? Was it the baker that's still alive? Yeah. Or one of those guys, whoever it is, they all now have to bow their knee to this one guy.
Yeah, man.
And then the brothers.
Yeah.
And the father.
Sure did.
Because it was the custom.
And God took them, he took Joseph through all of that just to set the children of Israel up. Because a famine was coming. And he preserved Joseph so that he could preserve the rest of them, because Joseph sent for them. That's the only reason why Moses got to the situation where he was. And the children of Israel became enslaved for 430 years. The only reason why they were there, because of one guy, Joseph.
Yeah. Which really, you just gave me something to preach.
I know.
We all need a Moses.
Yeah.
But somebody got to be a Joseph.
Somebody got to be a Joseph. And if you ask for volunteers, meaning be like, nope, nope. Because trust me, if Potiphar's wife came to some of y'all,
you wouldn't leave no coat.
No, you would. That coat would still be on.
You wouldn't leave no coat. Well, it might not be on, but you wouldn't run from it.
You sure wouldn't run.
I said leave. I didn't say leave it on.
Okay, so Genesis. I'm sorry, y'all. This is part 2 or finale. We got knocked off. I think when I reversed that screen to hit you, it went bloop, went out. But that's fine, because then because in another 10 minutes it would have went out anyway, because Facebook going to give you an hour and a half, I think. Okay, got just a couple more minutes before our final break. But 49 is, gather yourselves together and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken until Israel your father. Now this is Jacob getting ready to pass down his blessings. Reuben. I love his sandwich, by the way.
Yeah.
One of the best sandwiches.
Yeah, he's a good musician. But
Yes,
go ahead.
yes, he is. Yes, he is.
His foot was heavy, wasn't it?
It's kind of light.
Oh.
Yeah. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity, and the excellency of power.
Wow.
Man, that's powerful. That's great, ain't it?
That's how you make a person.
He's a calamity of a man.
Oh, yes, he is. Colossal, too.
Colossally. Okay. Unstable as water.
Wow. And that's something build you up.
Build you up to take you. He won't build you up to let you down. Isn't that a song?
Oh, wow, yeah. You taking me back.
Yeah, I know. This reminds me of the conversation with Jesus and Peter. They was praising each other. Jesus was like, so who you say I am?
Right.
You Elijah.
Flesh and blood.
You are man. Ain't nothing like you.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Pete, boy, let me tell you what, man, you talking about some rock? Pete, you a rock, man. You're a rock. You're a rock, Doc. You're a rock. And then he said, okay, this meeting is adjourned. I got to go die. All right. And Peter's like, oh, no. Oh, heck no. No, you ain't. I bind that devil. And then Jesus turned to him and said, no, you get behind me, devil. I was amazing. They went to high-fiving each other to sending each other to a burning hell. Okay. Well, that's what's happening here. He's talking about some Reuben, excellency, dignity, excellency of power. He's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And then he said, but you're unstable. You're as water.
How you going to compliment me and take it back?
The Bible is funny.
Oh, it's full of humor.
Oh, my God.
Man, you see the way some of these people look? I got a wonderful sense of humor. You got it.
Melissa, what was I playing last night? What are you talking about? Are you changing the subject, Melissa? Stay on focus.
What you say?
What was I playing last night? I don't know.
Oh, he's playing spades.
I was playing spades. Because thou went, now watch this. Thou shalt not excel because thou wentest up to thy father's bed. Then defilest thou it. He went up to my couch. Now y'all know who he talking about? Bilhah, which was one of his
handmaids.
Bilhah is the one who gave birth to Dan and Naphtali. Okay. So basically, Reuben slept with two of his brother's mothers. Okay,
she ain't my mama.
And right, and
I
Jacob.
beg to differ. They wasn't sleep.
They wasn't sleep. They want to sleep. And that's out of Genesis 35 and 22 for those of y'all who want to reference that. Okay, so that's what happened to Reuben. Now, Reuben lost the birth, right? The blessing, pretty much. All right.
He can't excel.
Can't excel. So it went to the second boy, which is Simeon. But what Jacob did was he blessed Simeon and Levi together. He had to do it together for this reason.
Yeah.
Okay. He says, Simeon and Levi are brethren.
Really? We know that. There's some bad boys. I'm
telling y'all, when y'all focus on what we're trying to say here, you will be laughing too. And it says he calls them instruments. They were instruments of cruelty. Are in their habitation. O my soul, come now thou into their secret, into their assembly. Mine honor be not thou united. For in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they digged down a wall. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. And that's where they are now.
So they had to separate.
Yeah, separate. Okay, and this is wonderful King James vernacular here at its best. But pretty much, this was the sins that they committed from what we read about Dinah.
You ever notice how when people argue the validity of the Bible, they never dig deep enough into reading these things to show how mankind was imperfect and how the Bible shows just how human man is.
Yes.
And how God can redeem and forgive and love. They miss all of this because they want to challenge the deity and the power of God and this book, and they overlook all of these details.
You're right.
To say, wow, you're missing all the love that he displayed because you would have wiped him out knowing this.
That's true.
You lose the understanding of all of these details that are here. You're trying to say this book is manipulated?
Right.
Why would I put all this bad news in the good news?
Wow.
If it didn't have any validity, so you could see yourself in it and to see how he loves you in spite of yourself.
Yeah. Ooh-wee. Today is the National Day of Prayer for those of you who out there who are probably going to may or may not see it on TV because the United States don't like to pray. All right, so you won't see nothing in the news other than Donald Trump being the only one left standing in the Republican Party. Okay, and that's pretty much what you're going to hear today. Won't be much about prayer. It's 5:30 p.m. in the Chicagoland area, and we're going to Controversial Corner and come back for the rest of Chapter 49 and see how we can make sense of this dysfunctional family that God has created in Alvin C. and Rodney Jones. All right, so Ross Jones Show.
Politics, doctrine, current events. Let's meet at the Controversy Corner on the Sir Walter Jones Show here on UBM Plays. Controversy, can't understand human curiosity.
This is Keep It Real Carter here at the intersection of controversy and bloodlines. Listen, family, I want you to understand there's one thing you must know for sure. Relatives are coincidence. You pick your family. What do you mean? You just so happen to have the same mother and father. But the Bible clearly shows you that some of the stuff that they treat you like or how your people treat you, that ain't family-like. Go where you're celebrated and not where you're tolerated. Now, it's a beautiful thing when you can receive love from your siblings. But don't use not receiving love from your siblings as an excuse to not receiving love. Because God has given us spiritual brothers and sisters that will love you just the same, if not better. So, you ever heard the phrase, We all got one in our family. Yeah, I have. My question to you is, are you that one? What do you mean about that one? Are you the one that they talk about? Are you the one that they shun? Are you the one that causes them to feel like, oh, Lord, here they come, or the embarrassment? Check yourself before you start talking about other people. Sweep around your own front door, and then sweep inside the front door, too. Now, I have another question for you. If your brother's a sister or your sister's now a brother, can you still love him? I'm going to say that again. If your brother is now a sister and your sister is now a brother, can you still love him? Because if you can't, you go right back to being one of them too. I'm not saying love what they do, but remember, you say you family. You got to love your family. And in love, you can tell them the truth. In love, you can tell them what the Word of God says. And in love, you can still support them because they're still human. So, with that being said, keep your hands and your mouth to yourself. What do you mean mouth? Don't talk about them. What do you mean hands? Don't touch it. Don't touch their stuff. Don't touch their things. Don't touch it. Now, I'm going to tell you, more than y'all want to believe, people messing with people's things. I ain't talking about their cars and their clothes either. I'm talking about their women's and their men's. It's out there big time. Walter won't admit it, but I know he's been flirted with by siblings and parents. I saw it happen before. He missed it because he was playing, but I was watching. What do you mean by that? Why bring that up? Because the covetousness? Covetousness will destroy a family. Be happy when somebody in your family gets something or finds someone, and know that God will bless you sooner or later if you stop doing what you're doing and start doing what they did. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. Stop doing what you're doing so you can get something different. That'll work. That fits it. And then I'm going to close with this point. Perfection only comes when we reach heaven. And until then, love one another and strive together to get to heaven instead of being in strife one another while we're here on earth. And that's my controversial topic.
Wow. Music stopped right on. Right, man, he didn't play that. He didn't play that. He gonna go home and he gonna listen to it like, see what I playing?
I didn't plan that. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not a planner. I'm a bridge crosser. That's my weakest link. I can't plan.
I am dying, y'all. I didn't have my tea.
No, you ain't dying.
I need some water or something. I had nothing. Hopefully that ain't gonna happen again. Yeah. Okay, where we be? Be where we is.
We are at verse number.
Turn your mic on.
8.
Well, tell her to turn it on.
Yeah.
Verse number 8. Judah.
Out of heaven.
Oh, okay.
It ain't been open.
Judah.
Okay.
You got another one of those? Judah.
That one been open.
That haven't been over. You can have it though if you want it. Okay,
Judah. Judah.
Verse 8.
All right, verse 8. So Reuben, the firstborn, lost it because he slept with Pop's woman.
That's weak game. You take your daddy's woman.
And then I think it was Paul picked it up in the New Testament. Says, yeah, y'all worse than the Gentiles who are sleeping with their fathers. Why?
No, the saints.
Yeah,
the Corinthians was the one who slept with his father's wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
He said, y'all doing some things that the Gentiles don't even do.
They're not even named among the Gentiles.
Right.
What he said.
Sinners don't even do what y'all
do. They don't even do that. Nasty dog.
So, but my question,
my daddy's women, they all ugly.
My question is this: did Reuben, when he slept, well, they say sleep, did he sleep with his father's concubine or servant? I mean, did she permit it, or did she just do it because she felt that she had to do it because she was a servant?
You think
it takes two to tango?
You think Bathsheba was forced?
No.
Yes. Yes. Because
you say no, you say yes.
Yes,
okay,
because David was the king.
All right,
and you don't say no to the king.
All right, now he begged to differ with that. Okay, because
her name was Sheba.
Yeah, her name was Sheba.
And now she's
they
Bathsheba.
Was in the bath. Yeah,
they call her Bathsheba now because it started because of bath.
Yeah, that's so true.
To differentiate which Sheba they were talking about, they talking about Bathsheba, the one that he went out and she knew he was going to.
God said to them, "You don't want a king. They're going to take your wives, your daughters, your servants." He said that they're going to do that. But even though God told them not to do it. So who says no to the king? He's the king.
It's good to be the king.
It pays to be the king.
Okay. So I think in this case here, since Bilhah was one of pretty much a servant.
Servant, So my question is,
I think...
it's probably not written.
I don't think she wanted to do it. I think there was a sense of, women were they were in submissive, subservient roles back then. So if a man says,
"Come here, woman,"
you came here, woman.
You arrived.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because
nowadays you got to say things different.
And look at Dinah. I'm wondering, did she fight back, or did she just submit to this man because he was the king's son? Shechem's son.
But you also see where the brothers had to go and rescue. It appears that because apparently she was still there.
Yeah.
But the word did say defiled her, which implies rape.
Yes.
So if it implies rape, then that means it was really against her will.
In today's understanding, yes, but
remember.
But can a woman? A woman could say, "I don't want this," but don't physically fight back.
There may be more than one reason why she don't physically fight back.
Because of fear, because of a woman taking that type of defense could cause death. In a situation.
There was a case where the woman was about to be raped and she asked the man to use a condom.
Yes.
And they used that against her.
Mm-hmm.
They used that against her.
Ain't that something?
Because she knew she was going to be raped, but she still wanted to protect and cover herself from any diseases or even pregnancy. But can you fathom the trifling lawyer that would use that against her by saying it was consensual because you asked him to use a condom?
I think one of the greatest episodes on All in the Family was when Edith was attacked by this guy, a sailor who came in the house. Archie was next door.
Yes, I remember that show.
Remember that? It scared America. All right. Still today, when I watch the rerun, it freaks me out. When there she is in that house with that guy, her husband and children just right next door, one wall over almost. Right?
Someone visited while he was there, but she was so afraid.
Archie came in.
Yes.
And the guy went in the closet, and he says, "If you say something, I'm going to kill you." And him, in a sense.
Right.
And she was afraid. All right.
She was willing to endure that.
But my point is where you're talking about, because when the lawyer came, all right, when they needed a defense because they had caught the guy, and they were trying to get her to say something, and she first said, "I ain't going to court. I'm afraid. I'm not doing it." So when she finally agreed, well, she didn't agree because what the lawyer says, "Okay, let's practice." And so they start practicing, and he began to ask her certain questions. And he said, so you invited him in? No, I didn't invite him in. I said, well, how did he get in? Well, I opened the door. And okay, and you wore that outfit? Why would you wear that outfit in front of him? Well, and so Meathead was like, why would you press her like that? He says, because a good lawyer is going to defend this guy in this manner. It's going to shake you up, and the judge and the jury is going to look at it as his job is to make sure that it looks like you invited it. And you're right. What kind of human would do that? And you would think that a lawyer would think about his own daughter.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's just disheartening that what we're doing today, and that's why so many rape cases
just they
disappear.
They disappear.
It's hard to get a conviction.
Hard.
Yeah, it's very hard.
And I blame society on this stuff, man.
Yeah, there's rape kits by the thousands.
We
sitting up in the jails.
We have no conscience at all. I knew a personal case of that, and the young lady's male's friend's mother didn't believe her. Didn't believe her, didn't support her until the alleged rapist cut off his, whatever they call it, ankle thing.
Oh.
And escaped.
Yeah.
Now she believes it.
Phyllis Williams.
What you talk about, Phyllis Williams?
The point is, Reuben knew that and who belonged to his father.
True.
Andrew Rose says it's good to be the king. Okay. Phil
Now,
Williams.
I wonder if the father's wives enticed the son.
It's a good question. I mean, you know,
That's
Even
good.
though he knew better than to touch her.
right.
good.
But you know them women now, they can be cunning.
I look at Potiphar's wife. Okay.
Everybody is not a Joseph.
That's
Right.
true.
The proof is in the pudding.
The proof was in.
Or as my dad
The
said,
proof-
the proof was in the eating of the pudding.
Don't do it.
Oh,
no,
God.
no,
No, please.
please
I'm
don't
trying to
say
behave.
These double
You be
entendres
giving
in
me
front of
stuff.
Alvin. You give him too much information.
You just opened the door. They know
Pandora's. Okay,
Talk
Phyllis.
about pudding.
Phyllis Williams. You know what I'm saying?
Ian.
It was good that you went along last week. Therefore, he covereth his father's goods
I wanted to be here last week.
and then took it
Lord
or
knows I
used it as if he had a right to do it by being the oldest son. That's where I was going. Bullock is saying, what if she did fight back and couldn't beat him or get away? That's what I said as well.
Because you know the Bible says, if a woman is forced
Yeah.
and she's in the field, the Bible says if she hollers,
Yeah.
then if they get caught, she's justified.
Right.
He gets whatever.
That's right.
But if she makes no noise other than that other noise,
Yep.
then they both are found guilty.
That's exactly.
But she must holler.
She got to holler.
She got to holler. But then again,
I
you
feel
don't.
sorry if she's deaf and dumb.
Yeah.
I will feel sorry if she's deaf and dumb. Right. Well, she didn't holler.
I heard. I was there when this woman was whooping her son,
She could write a sign.
and her son was deaf, and she was beating the mess out of him, and she was talking calm and plain. I told you not to do that. And she was light him up. I had never seen that ever in my life. I'm so used to the child screaming and the parent screaming, but the boy couldn't. He was deaf.
Sure.
It's an ugly sight to see.
Why was it ugly?
I mean,
it just messed you up because you couldn't hear the reaction to.
I
the
just
pain?
couldn't take it. First of all, he's paralyzed. For
Wait a minute. She
lack
beat
of
a paralyzed one?
No, for
'Cause
lack
that
of a
was
better
stupid.
word. In other words, I'm looking for another word.
Oh,
but
okay.
he could not scream.
Okay, he was mute.
He was mute. So, but she's beating him because
So
he
he's-
stole the car. She asked me what to do. I told him, you're going to have to punish him. You love him, you're going to have to punish him.
I can't do it. I can't. I'm not. I can't show you. I refuse to show you what's going on in the room. I can't do it. Lost you for a second. Natalie says, I would imagine if my brothers rolled up and that was the situation, they wouldn't be able to wait long enough to hatch a plan.
Right.
Hatch a plan.
That's when they'd be the the McCormicks and the what's it called?
Hartfield.
Hatfield.
The Hatchfields. Okay, Judah, he's blessing. She get ready to bless Judah. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise.
Wow.
Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. God has his hands in their neck.
Choking the enemy.
Thy father children shall bow down before thee.
Wow.
Judah is the lion's whelp.
They didn't already bow down before Joseph.
Yes.
The father didn't see that. Now, ain't there something?
Yeah.
See, the father didn't see that because he himself would have to bow down.
Yes.
But now the father sees that they're going to bow down to this after they done got saved.
Right. Judah
sermon.
is the lion's whelp.
That is.
From the prey, my son, thou art
Laying
gone
it
up.
out.
He stooped down, he couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up. All right, and of course we know that Satan is trying to be like Judah, because he's like a roaring lion. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh comes.
Shiloh comes.
And until him shall the gathering of the people
So who
be.
is Shiloh?
I was just about to ask that question. Who is Shiloh?
Yeah, who is Shiloh?
Shiloh actually is the pronunciation. Was a city where the tabernacle was set up. You had to go to Joshua 18:1.
So a city comes to that location, or they go to Shiloh?
Or is Shiloh Jesus?
Yeah, it's a proper name or title which believers generally accept as a messianic
So it is
designated
Jesus.
of Jesus. Sure. Yeah. Until Shiloh.
You're
Binding.
not speaking in tongues.
No, you're just saying Jesus.
Hebrew.
Yeah. Binding his foal unto the vine, and his ass's colt unto the choice vine. He washed his garments in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes. His eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk. Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and he shall be for an haven of ships, and his brethren shall be unto Zidon. So I guess Zebulun is which one of the branch of the military is on the water?
Navy.
Yeah. Zebulun
Navy
is,
or Marines.
Zebulun is he wears they wear that white. Is a white uniform? Is that the Navy?
Navy do wear white.
Yeah.
Issachar.
Is the Air Force.
Yeah, that's what he said. Issachar is as strong as.
Issachar?
Issachar is as strong
as a truck
as couching down between two burdens. And he saw that rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulders to bear, and became a servant unto tribute. Now, when we did the show on Satan, what was the name of that show? When I told you that the Satan does not bear, he has all of the stones except for 3 in that show.
What show was that?
What was the name of that show? Maybe Dimitri or something.
Was it 3 or was it 5?
He doesn't have 3.
Mm-hmm.
He has 12 stones, but he has 9.
Because the priest has 14.
Yeah, well, he technically has 12.
Right, he's got 12, but then he's got those 2 things on his shoulders.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because these are 12 kids here, but there's 2 other kids.
The nephews, the grandsons.
Well, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel.
So he'll judge.
Dan, yeah. Now one of these kids don't pop up later on. He kind of vanishes. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, an adder in the path that biteth the horse's heels.
A snake.
Yeah, so that his rider shall fall backwards.
Wow.
I have waited for thy salvation, O Lord. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last.
Wow.
Lord have mercy. Out of Asher, his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. Naphtali is a hind let loose. He giveth goodly words. Then comes Joseph's blessing. And as you know, these are some of these became tribes, and others didn't have territory. For instance, Levi didn't have an inheritance. Okay,
right.
He's worked in serving the temple.
Yeah, he was a church boy.
Absolutely. And Joseph, we know what happened to him. He's a fruitful bow, even a fruitful bow by a well, whose branches run over the wall. The archers have sorely grieved him, and shot at him, and hated him. But his bow abode in strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty God of Jacob.
You know what he's talking about.
What are you talking about there, L. Jones?
He's talking about his brothers and what took place when he went to Egypt.
Yes, sir. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel, even by the God of thy father, who shall help thee, and by the Almighty, who shall bless thee with the blessings of heaven. And he goes on and on with Jacob, with Joseph. The 27th says, Benjamin shall raven as a wolf in the morning. He shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. So he's a night crawler, man. A night boy. All these are the 12 tribes of Israel, and this is it that their father spake unto them and blessed them. Every one according to his blessing, he blessed them. Okay? And then we know that, let's see, Ephraim pops up on the scene. And then, what's the other boy name?
Manasseh?
Manasseh.
Prophet Manasseh?
Yeah. Prophet Manasseh. If you can go to chapter 48, please.
Yeah, I got an iPad. It goes to all them chapters.
If you start at verse 8, while I sign these people back on, start reading at verse 8. And that
Genesis 48 and 8.
Genesis 48.
And Israel beheld Joseph's son.
Okay, this is that famous.
And said, Who are these? And Joseph said unto his father, They are my sons, whom God hath given me in this place. And he said, bring them, I pray thee, unto me, and I will bless them. Now the eyes of Israel were dim for age, so that he could not see. And he brought them near unto him, and he kissed them, and embraced them. And Israel said unto Joseph, I had not thought to see thy face, and lo, God hath showed me also thy seed. And Joseph brought them out from between his knees, and bowed himself with his face to the earth. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand toward Israel's left hand, and Manasseh in his left hand toward Israel's right hand, and brought them near unto him. And Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it upon Ephraim's head.
Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Who was Israel?
Israel.
Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
Took his right hand and he stretched it and to who?
To Ephraim.
Ephraim.
Who was the younger.
The baby.
Mm-hmm.
Now he took his right hand. Now, you know, that's what a
the
blessing.
hand of strength.
Yes, sir.
Hand of authority.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And his left hand upon Manasseh's head, guiding his hand wittingly.
Yes.
For Manasseh was the firstborn.
Mm-hmm.
And he blessed Joseph and said, God, before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac did walk, the God which fed me all my life long unto this day, the angel which redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads, and let my name be named on them, and the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand on the head of Ephraim, it displeased him, and he held up his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head unto Manasseh's head. And Joseph said unto his father, not so, my father.
Don't do it.
For this is the firstborn.
You blind.
Put
you
thy
see.
hand upon his head.
Yeah.
His father refused and said, I know it.
I know what I'm doing.
My son, I know it. He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. But truly his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his seed shall become a multitude of nations. And he blessed them that day, saying, in thee shall Israel bless, saying, God make thee as Ephraim and as Manasseh, and set Ephraim before Manasseh. And Israel said unto Joseph, behold, I die.
Yeah.
But God shall be with you, and bring you again unto the land of your fathers.
My goodness.
Moreover, I have given to thee one portion above thy brethren, which I took out of the hand of the Amorite with my sword and with my bow.
He said, I did that.
Yes.
And sure, and it's perfect. It's a perfect setup to the blessing of 49, the others.
Now, here's another message. That's a double cross.
Yeah. Love it.
That's a double cross because
double cross.
he was crossed
like
over,
that.
and then he undid the thing that was done to him in one regard by doing it again.
Sure.
Because it was done in deceit for him as Jacob. But because his name was changed and he was redeemed as Israel, it was done again.
Yeah. A double cross. That's a double cross.
That's how Isaac was dying.
Yeah.
And Isaac went to bless Jacob, the same Jacob and Esau.
Sure.
He went to bless Esau.
Yeah.
But Jacob, being the younger, got the blessing. And now Manasseh, being the younger, or Ephraim being the younger, gets what we call the crisscross blessing.
Yes, sir.
And he wittingly, the Bible says, did that. Now, anybody know that your hands is crisscrossed?
Sure.
You can feel that.
Yeah.
So anybody who walk in the room,
And
there's no
if you're familiar
accident.
with custom, you understand what you're doing.
Yeah, there's no accident. When you do this, you got to know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we see a change of custom, we see a change of a whole lot, and we see the plan of God coming through, and we see the son doing the same thing that the father did.
That is so true. And this is what's happening in our families today.
Yes.
I believe that in the system of this world, of this country especially, I believe what's happening even in the political world. It is no coincidence that one xenophobia, bigoted man beat out 14 people who were already in politics.
Allegedly exposed.
They were governors, they were experts, and with probably 100 years. Matter of fact, I think I even wrote it down, how many years of political expertise all of these men and that one woman had. And a businessman beat them all out. Okay? He beat 150 years of political experience.
You know why?
There were 16 candidates.
Because he's a businessman.
He's right, exactly.
Businessman.
Businessman. All right, Brittany, get me out of here.
They used politics, but he used business.
And he used bigotry because America's full of it. I want to apologize to Barack Obama and Michelle. We ran out of time. We couldn't interview you today. Tomorrow we are off the air as we make more changes. I've got to go to some place tomorrow and make some more money to pay my mortgage. All right. All right. So I'm going to stay home tomorrow, okay? Stay home tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, stay home. Monday, we're starting the Stevie Wonder all week, except for Thursday, because I have a lot of listeners out there. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday will be Stevie Wonder week as we get ready. His birthday.
Because use all his gospel songs as our breaks.
You're right, exactly, because he got some good ones. All right. So it's going to be a music week all week. So hang there with us. This is Sean Pace. I don't think it's Rhodes anymore. I think she dropped that last name. Brony said.
Yeah.
It took a miracle. We found her. We found the request for you. We'll request here all day, all the time. The D. Curtis Random Show comes on every day from 6 to something. My co-worker, he's here 6 to 10 o'clock. You want to hear music. All right, y'all, go to Spreaker.com if you're not there already, and we'll be able to let you hear this song without me talking over it, okay? Don't you hate that? All right, y'all, pray for America. This is the National Day of Prayer. Tonight when you are speaking to the Lord, remember the Sir Walter Jones Show, Alvin and Elder Rodney Jones. And even Brittany, remember her.
Yes.
Okay.
Please do.
That we continue to do the work of the Lord. That it might be prosperous, the people, and I'm not even talking about financial. That it might be spiritually prosperous for the people who are listening. Okay, guys. Love you. Have a great weekend. So what's the Jones Show?
My Father is omnipotent, and this we can't deny. He's a God of might and miracles. It's written in the sky. To hang the stars in space. Can I get a witness? It took a miracle to hang the moon in its place. But when it saved my soul, clear
This is Dr. Tony Evans with the Urban Alternative, and I want to challenge churches all over America to become part of the National Day of Prayer. If there was ever a day when God's people needed to grab a hold of God and to invite his manifest presence back into our midst, today is that day. In every direction we look in our culture, chaos has taken control. And when God is dismissed from a culture, that vacuum is filled by evil. So it is incumbent upon God's people, through whom he has determined to express his presence, to make contact with him in unity on one accord. So you and your church need to get involved and make your voices heard on earth, inviting heaven in our midst to turn around a culture in chaos. The National Day of Prayer needs you.
Hey ladies and gents, if you missed any of today's show, head to Spreaker.com and search The Sir Walter Jones Show and listen to this show and past shows. Now remember, search for The Sir Walter Jones Show on Spreaker.com. That's Spreaker spelled SPREAKER.com. And enjoy.
You have been listening to The Sir Walter Jones Show, where Sir Walter Jones provides you with a biblical perspective on everyday life. Stay connected to Sir Walter Jones at his website, www.sirwalterjones.com. Search The Sir Walter Jones Show on Facebook or follow on Twitter at Sir Walter's Music. Until next time, thank you for listening to The Sir Walter Jones Show with Sir Walter Jones.
Right, Mr. Walters?